My name is Meral Kayıkçıoğlu, and I will present you how can Facebook and Instagram could boost our career in professional life. While we are using social media for the first time, we have to decide why we are present here, for education, for networking, for advocacy, or for mentorship. And the second question that should be replied, which platform should we preferring? We have to know that Facebook is the number one in all around the world as the most used social media platform, followed by YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Of course, the age, social factors of the individual countries, gender, all affect the preferred platforms. But for younger ages, especially the teens, Snapchat and TikTok are the preferred platforms. There is a growing body of evidence about the social media use in medical life and healthcare, but this data is really changing so fast because they are only valid for a very short period of time because the social media is changing rapidly. And nowadays, when we look at this literature, Pinterest and Facebook are the most used ones for educational purposes, and Facebook and Instagram are mostly used for social use. When we look at the demographics of the Facebook, there are 3 billion people actively monthly using this platform, and this makes it still the most powerful and influential of these social networks. The largest age group is here from 25 to 35. Gender, half of them female and half of them male. And it's really a great way to connect with family, friends, and the friends of our friends. And it is mostly used as a personal network all around the world. But of course, it could be used for business and professional purposes. Here, I shared my Facebook account here. As you see, I share here my family pictures. So this means that this is my private account for my family and for my close friends. For business pages, it can be used, but for professional use in medical care, Facebook professional groups are important, and I advise you to be there with your interested topics. For the Instagram, there are 2 billion people monthly using it. It is really growing during the last 2 years. The age distribution and also the gender distribution is very similar to Facebook. It gives us the live shares and reels recordings. These are very attractive options for us to share medical videos and many other things. But if our target audience are the youngs, then we change our direction to other platforms. As an example, I wanted to show you my several accounts from different platforms. And for example, here I use Twitter for networking, and the language is here for me is English. It is the same for LinkedIn, but for Instagram, I prefer to use my native language, Turkish. And here I'm message and share stories, many things for education and advocacy. And my target population is here, my students, my fellows, and also my patients and the general population in Turkey. And as I said, for my family, I prefer to use Instagram, of course, Facebook. But of course, using 4 platforms is really time consuming, I have to say. And to be successful in this social media, you have to have a good handle identifying you. It should be short and simple. If possible, it should be unique. Your profile description should cover your full name and titles, and you have to describe why you are here, what is your purpose, what is your present position, and your picture also very important. You have to be very personable and trustworthy with your shared picture. Of course, we here share and receive content in both platforms. And while sharing the content, we have to be aware who is our audience. We have to have a topic, and random content is really hard to follow. And also it is really taking time, but we have to think this like a business. And resharing is also easy, but while resharing, we had to add some comments or some small words to show our being there. And as long as you post, of course, you will be visible, but this depends if you really want to be visible. We have to engage conversations and we have to comment. Tagging other people is also very helpful, and we have to use hashtags. I advise you to follow certain hashtags of your particular interest. And this is like referencing, cross-referencing using hashtags. I want to again give you some examples of some postings in Instagram. Here, all my aim is to increase the awareness of familial hypercholesterolemia. As you can see, all my sharings are serving for this aim. But at the weekends, my posts and stories are a little bit different. I try to be a little bit more cute, or I try to share something very popular or help or attract people attention during the weekends. And I advise you not to post too many daily. Maximum 3 or maybe 4 is good enough in posting. These both platforms is really lifelong medical training for me. I receive messages, news from congresses, share cases with colleagues, but whatever I share, it is my opinion or not, I always give evidence, show evidence from the literature, because I'm a medical professional. And also surveys in both platforms are really helpful for these topics. And while using these platforms, it is really hard. You have to know the regulations and many other things. And there is a guidance from American Medical Association published in 2020. And also there are many in the internet and also in the social media, but still many of us are not aware of the ethical issues regarding social media use. And I want to say that we have to be very professional in our accounts. We should not forget that once we post, it will stay there in the cyber world forever. Therefore, I'm trying to staying away from politics, controversial topics, insulting anyone, engaging with negative comments, and I never went my personal problems. I learned that it's impossible to control the bias of the others. I'm not selling a product or myself, so I'm here as a professional, and we have to think that this is our profiles are our CVs, so it should be pure, clean, up to date, and accurate. And we have to keep private things private. We should not share publicly our private ideas, our private pictures. Some old posts could hurt even finding a job or externship in very young people. And there are many people fired from job after posting very innocent pictures of ideas or comments, but we have to be respectful for the regulations and also respectful for the patient's privacy. So it is better to be safe than sorry. And while posting, we have to think twice or 3 times, especially on Facebook and also on the other social media. Even being a very big company doesn't mean anything. We can be sued for wrong information we shared. Because As a healthcare worker, our sharings could affect many people's behaviors. We are very responsible for them. Therefore, we should be reliable, respectful, and trustworthy. And when we look at the literature nowadays, we see that still most of the sharing, especially the videos, Instagram Reels, their contents are posted by non-professionals. So the most of the knowledge there could be not reliable. This is very important. And these both platforms gave me lots of things. For they helped me raising public awareness, combating misinformation, lots of things. But the most important thing I learned from this last month, both platforms really helped us in Turkey. As you know, we are facing very important bad days nowadays due to the earthquake. And with special hashtags, people under the rubble, they wanted help. And we could reach them, we could find them. And while they were under the rubbles, as physician, we gave them advices how to be there alive. After getting out of the rubbles, we told our patients how to keep their therapy well, and many things they helped us. So we are very grateful social media during that bad days. So in conclusion, we can effectively use social media to boost our career, but we have to be professional. We should be aware of also the negative impacts of it. Therefore, being aware of the rules and regulations is extremely important. And therefore, I say that think twice or 3 times before posting in social media. Thanks for your attention.